What's going on, guys? I'm Jada Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. Make sure y'all like this video because I want to talk about one of the most embarrassing moments I've seen on television in regards to ESPN. Maybe one of the most embarrassing moments ever. Here you have Jalen Rose, who was on the program, and I guess he asked too many questions about the Ime Udoka situation and wanting to have the identity of the woman in question out there more. You know, why are people just getting at Ime Udoka and not the woman that he was having this consensual relationship with? Because it was consensual, people. It wasn't forced. I don't care what people try to make up in their minds. It wasn't forced at all. And I guess ESPN didn't like that, so they made Jalen Rose do they interrupted one of their ad breaks in order for him to do the apology, and then they went right back to the ads. And people on social media were taken aback. They said it themselves that they were caught off guard by it. And Jalen Rose is very apologetic. Everybody's apologizing now. You see what happens when you see other celebrities, especially other black celebrities like a Kanye West or a Kyrie Irving, get canceled or get a lot of pushback from the media. People start copping pleas. People start looking for any reason to apologize so they don't get canceled, so they don't lose what they have. This is sad that we've gotten to this point. And no, I don't think that I'm not here to be putting people's information out about a situation, right? But it seems that the only person who's being held accountable for the Ime Udoka affair, because there were two people in relationships that had an affair, the only person that's being held accountable is Ime Udoka. And I can see where Jalen Rose is coming from. I think there were other men who probably had the same thought process, but of course you can't hold that woman accountable. What are you doing? You can't be holding this Caucasian woman accountable. Is you crazy? We got to focus on Ime Udoka. He was in a power position. He was the head coach. He wasn't the team owner. He's not the team owner. He's not he's not running the basketball operations. He was just the head coach. But they act like he had so much power in that particular organization in his 1 year there. Listen, I think that whatever's going on with her is going to be handled. I just don't feel like I feel like people need to move on from the Ime Udoka situation. Whatever happens. He's going to have to deal with it with Nia Long, and then the woman that he had the extramarital, because she was married, so it's considered an extramarital affair with. They're going to have to deal with that. You got the fact that you have people like Malika Andrews and others who are so angry, right? They're so angry with Ime Udoka. They feel like he should be punished more than he's been punished. But I feel like he might have learned his lesson this time. And I'm all for giving people a second chance. Again, he got a well-deserved year suspension because you don't do stuff like that. I thought his coaching career was over. And I think that Jalen Rose was asking the right questions on the wrong network. Okay? When you start asking questions about holding women accountable, oh no, you better get out there. We're going to cut this ad break. You better get out there and you better apologize, Jalen. And that's exactly what he did. So let's get into this Outkick.com article. It says ESPN forces Jalen Rose to make a super awkward halftime apology. See? The topic of former Celtics head coach Ime Udoka came up as the group discussed him as the potential next head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Udoka, you'll recall, was suspended by the Celtics for an alleged affair with a team staffer. Previously, Stephen A. Smith got into some hot water by demanding that the woman in Udoka's alleged affair be named. Let's see. It's a tweet here. It says Stephen A. Smith also wants the woman an underling in the social organization who was involved to be named publicly, while ESPN can't be happy with Mr. Smith today.
And I'm going to say this again. It said in the numerous news reports, it was a consensual relationship that violated organizational policy. So only he is in violation of the company policy. The woman who elected to have a consensual relationship with him is not in violation. He gets to get mentioned and put on.
By the way, this was the show that Malika Andrews, I believe, tried to quote unquote check Stephen A. Smith. I believe this is the particular episode, and she ended up getting checked.
Front Street. We don't know who she is. What about the other women within the Celtics organization who have been victimized because wrong assumptions have been made by their involvement? If you knew exactly who it was, that would alleviate the concerns of all the other women who have had their names paraded out.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's how I felt about this. When you don't put this particular woman's identity out here, other women are going to be named and they're going to be called out. It's unfair to those women because you want to protect this woman because she cheated on her husband, that other women are unfairly being put out here and the media is okay with that. That's the problem, because there were media outlets who put names and pictures out here. You know? Apparently Jalen Rose didn't get the memo because he still wants the woman named. I guess that would change the narrative surrounding Udoka or something. We know Udoka's name, Rose said. Maybe I'm missing something as it relates to the law, but why we don't know her name? It's not like she's a minor. We should know her name publicly as well. And I just want to say that by now, I think her identity has already been put out here. Maybe not officially, but we pretty much know who it was with. So maybe asking these questions still now is what got ESPN to tell him, listen, man, you need to go out there and you need to apologize with your chest and, say that, you didn't mean it. It didn't look right. It just looked like Jalen Rose was like, oh damn. You know what I'm saying? And he had to go into super apology mode, and he had to go out there and he had to make himself look bad. I mean, he was getting clowned all over Twitter. He started trending. I was like, Jalen Rose trending. I went to it and I saw that apology video just pop up, and people were just like, where did this come from? It came from ESPN telling Jalen Rose, listen, man, you need to get out there, stop what you're doing. What are you doing? Are you eating? Are you drinking? Well, you need to stop that, go back into the studio, and you need to make that apology, and you better do it right now. That's basically how I believe that conversation went, and that's exactly what he did. So this is what he had to say here.
Piggyback on Stephen A's point about what Ime did. We know his name. Maybe I'm missing something as it relates to the law, but why we don't know her name? It's not like she's a minor. I feel like we should know her name publicly as well. But with that being said, I respectfully disagree with the legend Michael Wilbon. This is why. I feel like he deserves the opportunity to work again. And if he's going to work again,
I agree.
Based on that, and if the Nets, who he's familiar with, piggyback.
Rose will go on to say that Udoka deserves a second chance. Why this information, the woman's name, matters so much to Rose and Smith is unclear. It's very clear. It's clear because it's unfair to drag one man's name through the mud when he's had an affair with a woman who's married. All right. And they want to make it seem like it's all Ime. Ime just had all this sway over this woman to make her cheat on her husband. Although it's interesting how Smith, who always has something to say, was particularly quiet during the segment, his facial expression didn't even change as Rose spoke. Either way, Disney, ESPN apparently didn't care too much for Rose's comments, or people on Twitter didn't. and the company executives scurried to appease them, more likely the latter. Let's see. After the Celtics-Bulls game went to halftime, ESPN went to commercial break and then returned for Jalen Rose to deliver clearly scripted and taped apology. Do you know people said that Jalen Rose looked like he was held hostage, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it looked like it did. It looked like, you know, there was somebody there standing there saying, you better say it this way. And they had the script for him to read. That is how it looked. Jalen Rose, he began for some reason, and I would like to apologize for a comment I made earlier on NBA Countdown. I questioned why a woman's name who had an alleged affair, well, it ain't alleged, it was an affair, with Celtics head coach Ime Udoka was not made public. After an internal investigation, it was discovered that she was a subordinate to the head coach. I now understand why her name should not be released to the public. Now back to our NBA coverage.
I'm Jalen Rose, and I would like to apologize for...
Yo, this is gonna be a classic. This clip is gonna be a piece of sports. It's gonna be a piece of sports history. This is a classic clip.
Comment I made earlier on NBA Countdown. I question why a woman's name who had an alleged affair with Celtics head coach Ime Udoka was not made public. After an internal investigation, and it was discovered that she was a subordinate to the head coach, I now understand fully why her name should not be released to the public. Now back to our NBA coverage.
The body language says it all, right? The body language says it all. The on-air apology wasn't enough either. Rose took to Twitter to make sure everyone knows that he's really, really sorry. This person comment says that Jalen Rose apology came out of nowhere. And Jalen Rose says it needed to be done since what I suggested was dead wrong. There's nothing more ironic than when a woke all-star has to apologize to the woke mob for an unwoke comment made on an woke network. And Jalen Rose, ladies and gentlemen, is a woke all-star. He might even be in the woke Hall of Fame. Although comments like this might have him on the outside looking in, he'll have to likely call something racist to get his candidacy back on track. This is why I would never want to be woke, because no matter what you do, you know, they're gonna find some way to attack you. Ain't that right, Jalen? Right? No matter what you do, they're gonna attack you. This is why you don't give these people power. That's why they're mad that Elon Musk owns Twitter, because they enjoyed censoring people and getting people kicked off platforms. They enjoyed that. The Twitter staff enjoyed it. Now half of those people are gone, and they need to be gone because they did nothing but try to destroy people's lives, banning people. Those are the type of people who want appeasement from apologies. Mentally unstable people. You have a bunch of mentally unstable people who look for appeasement on social media every single day. And unfortunately, guys like Jalen Rose, when they say something that is considered wrong, he has to go and make an apology, because that is what has happened. Now, these networks are so afraid of getting, the BS from the mob. And what they do is they run to make amends with mentally unstable people. It's absolutely ridiculous. He did not have to apologize. He could have clarified his words, but apologizing only gives these people power, and it's only going to make them attack you even more, Jalen. That's what they're going to do. And the fact that that these people don't understand this, you cannot give these people power. These are mentally unstable people. Why are you giving them power over you? It's absolutely insane to me. But let me know in the comment section, let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.